Hi guys, welcome to another Friday Tips with Fenz, down here at the Watts Factory, the nerve centre of FTP Training on the south coast of New South Wales. In week 3, we're going to start to discuss my return to fitness from having a spinal fusion last year. Again, we've chatted about the sort of psychological and mental battles you face trying to come back from a major injury, and also looked at a little bit of, and talked a little bit about physiologically what happens in terms of the detraining of the body. Over the course of the next few weeks, we're going to start to actually delve into my actual training to come back from that injury. So we're going to start to look at particular files. We're going to look at overall how the plan progressed and how I built and maintained and leveraged my fitness through that period of time. I'm going to introduce you to some concepts that we use with today's plan for monitoring and measuring and quantifying our athletes' performances. And we're going to see how over the course of 6 months, I was able to return to winning Masters State Time Trial Championships and putting another 60 watts back onto my 20-minute power. So I'm still not back to being at 100% of what I've done before, but got very, very close in 6 months of very focused training. So in this first Friday Tips with Fenz, what we're actually going to do is we're just going to outline some basic fundamentals and some terminology that not all of you may be familiar with. I'm going to put you and show you the screen here from today's plan, which looks at today's plan terminology. This is quite common terminology within power meter training, but I want to go over it with you now so that when we go into the nitty-gritty of files, you can really get a concept and understanding of what I'm talking about. Firstly, we're going to talk about T-score. This value is calculated using an objective measure of power data, and it's a combination of both intensity and duration. Most training programs out there normally work on an increase in time or an increase in kilometers. The reason and the problem with that is that both you can't define how hard you went. So you might go out for a 3-hour ride absolutely on the rivet, and it's going to be very, very different. Your body's going to react very, very differently to that, to going out 3 hours just poodling along on the flat. T-score is a combination that includes both the duration or distance and the intensity that you completed that session at. An idea would be that if you've gone at a 40-kilometer time trial at 100% of your ability, you would score around about 100 T-score points. Okay, so that would give you an idea of how hard you would need to go to score 100 T-score points. 30 T-score points would be like an hour easy recovery. 120 would be 2 hours solid. 300 would be a massive Sunday epic. CTL, chronic training load. This is a way of objectively measuring our fitness. Over the long term, we want to build chronic training load to a level that enables us to back up day after day. It's really a surrogate for fitness, and the higher we drive our CTL overall, the more able we are to back up day after day in our training. Give you an example of a Tour de France rider. I've seen Tour de France riders' CTLs up at about 170 T-score a day. That means that they have the ability to handle nearly 170 T-score points per day for the continuation of that tour. That's an incredible ability, which means their bodies are massively adapted to handle that rate over that time duration. The CTL time duration is based upon a 42-day constant. So to get a score of 100, in theory, you would need to go out and do a 40K time trial absolutely on your rivet for 42 days continually. Now, obviously, that wouldn't happen, but we would build it up out of different rides. And to give you an example, I've had up to 150 CTL when competing at ultra-endurance 24-hour races. Acute training load is the training load gauging our current load based over the last 7 days. So again, when I start to show you charts, acute training load is very much more acute. It's very much more stochastic in nature. It's very up and down. You back off, acute training load drops massively. You put the gas on and you go and do a big ride, it rises very rapidly. Training stress balance is really the freshness score. It's calculated simply by comparing your CTL to your ATL. A negative number will indicate you have been going really hard rides, and you're pretty tired. If you really duck down into negative training stress balance, it means that you may have accumulated just too much load, and then you need to come up for what I call air. A rising TSB means we're gaining freshness. Freshness with a high CTL gives us condition, form, and the ability to perform really well. Okay, so when I design training programs, we look to create a training stress balance which elicits the very best performances of that rider over the last year or 2 years. So we take away a lot of the guesswork in getting and eliciting the best performances of our riders. Okay, you can read more of this by looking on the help section of today's plan. And next week, we're going to delve right into using this terminology and uncovering what it means in the charts, in the programs, and in the sessions that I completed in the comeback from my spinal fusion. All right, guys, get reading, get into the help desk here and really unpick some of this information. There's a lot of great stuff there. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to call us at FTP Training, where all of my associate coaches and myself are experts in the use of today's plan. Give us a buzz and we can get you on your road to being super fast, super quick. Thanks very much. Catch you later. Bye-bye.